Freezer meals for new moms. It can be overwhelming. Maybe you're pregnant and you're thinking about how are you going to feed your family after delivery. Well, here are some tips today so that you can prepare, and you can prepare those freezer meals now. Thanks for joining One Simple Step today. Today we're going to be discussing freezer meals for new moms. And I have with me my mom, who has provided many freezer meals for other new moms. So today we're going to discuss some different things. And I know that freezer meals for new moms seems like it's very daunting and overwhelming and you just want to throw up your hands. So you may be pregnant and you're looking towards delivery and just thinking, how can I do it? I see websites, but it seems so overwhelming. How do I make 25 casseroles? But let's discuss some easy meals to make and how some tips on what to freeze and what not to, and also knowing that partial meal prep can help as well. So Mom, what would you say as we jump in today? What would be one advice to a pregnant mom looking towards preparing for postpartum?
I would say an easy one to fix and prepare ahead of time would be some ground beef. Just get it fried up, and then you maybe divide it up into smaller packages. You could use it for tacos. Would be easy dish.
A spaghetti sauce, adding it to
sauce. You can just do a lot of things with ground beef, so that would be a go-to. I would.
And when you prep it, you can divide it into sizes for your family. So depending on if it's just you and your husband, or maybe you have one child, just depending. And that's where Ziploc bags come in real handy. So let's go back to ground beef, because you can use it for tacos, for spaghetti, for soups. I know soups are a good way to go.
Or another casserole even.
Yeah, and that way you cut down your time. So let's think about partial freezer meals for new moms. What about chicken? Use your crock pot. Again, prep it, divide it up. Maybe you want to dice it for salads, for soups, for other casseroles. Season it. Sometimes just seasoning it neutrally is good. Garlic salt is a great thing.
Yeah. Or soups. Make a big batch of soups and then have one for a meal and then freeze part of it.
That's right. In that month before you deliver, make extra so you don't have to work so hard after delivery. And that's another thing too, is you don't want to freeze these meals too far in advance. But some women have found that if they start prepping at week 25, the food just has more of a freezer burn taste. So drop it down to maybe that month before you deliver. That's probably a better time frame for that. So we talked about beef, we talked about chicken. Pork's another one that you could bake easy. Pork chops, and you could just, you could even put wax paper in between those and freeze those so that you can pop them apart and thaw them.
Right, that would be an important part, to put wax paper or parchment paper between it, so otherwise you're going to be fighting getting them apart.
And I've linked up above and down below some other awesome websites, because this is not a new topic, but I think it can be very overwhelming. So I want to make sure that you understand that there's lots of different ways that you can meal prep. It doesn't have to be casseroles, and it doesn't have to be entire meals as well. So we talked about some of the meat. Let's talk about frozen vegetables. And sometimes it's just thinking differently. So when you're at the store buying bags of frozen vegetables, especially the ones you can pop into the microwave, because those are easy. You can just add some vegetables, and you want to make sure that you're getting that fiber.
The ones in the bag that you can cook in the bag are real easy.
And then we were talking about some soups. So even I've bought some of these frozen egg noodles, and going back to your crock pot. So when you're thinking freezer meals, don't just think freezer to oven. Think, how can I put the pieces together in a crock pot and prep it so it's just dump, dump, dump. Like going back to even we had talked about a chili, the frozen beef that you've already had, then dump a couple cans of beans and tomatoes, and then a packet of seasoning that you like, and there's an easy meal there.
And also, if it's summertime, going into fall or winter, and you find fresh blueberries, they're easy, nice fruit that you can add to a meal, finish a meal off with.
Right.
They freeze nicely.
Well,
or grapes,
black
grapes.
And then bananas and strawberries, and you can prep those for smoothies. You can even put them in smaller Ziploc bags, so you can dump whatever combination of smoothie that you like and put it together so it's ready. And remember, Ziploc bags. So if you feel like, oh, I can't do freezer meals.
Freezer
Yeah.
bags.
Use Ziploc bags, and you can freeze them like this, and then you can stack them in your freezer.
Yes, if you lay them flat, like you could put ground beef in there and then lay it flat, and then you stack it up, and it freezes nicely.
Yeah.
And you could fit more in it.
So again, soups, meats, vegetables, smoothies, and again, everybody has a different taste and a flavor, and there's things that you and your family prefer. So again, just taking these tips and then going out to some of these websites that I've shared, because I collect them. I love to cook. I learned to cook and love to cook from my mom. So it's fun to do this. And also, I know I've mentioned this before, but helping other new moms. So if a friend of yours is a new mom, remember to take a meal to them and ask them between two options what they're preferring, because that's another good thing.
Yes, so in case they've had spaghetti 3 times in a row, they don't want it a 4th time.
Yep. And I know one mom was like, I wish somebody had asked me, because all I wanted was deli meat and sandwich bread. So just remember who you're cooking for. So those are some of the tips for freezer meals for new moms. I hope that it's not so overwhelming, but something that you feel that you can tackle now. Break it down, and don't feel like your freezer has to be full of 25 casseroles, but you can do it in a way that makes preparing food for you after delivery a lot easier. So thanks for listening, and make sure to subscribe if you're new here and hit the like button if this has been helpful. Have a great day.